Alright, so we've reached our final video for this set of videos regarding the unit circle. This is just the last section that's talking about trying to find the sine or cosine values for angles that are larger than 90 but less than 180 degrees. Because you can't get a triangle that's over 180 degrees on one side. That doesn't make any sense. So this is the last video for that. For this one in particular, we're going to check on a scenario where we're trying to find the value of sine at the angle of 155. So that's an example of an angle that's larger than 90. So 90 degrees being here up and down, that's about 90 degrees. Remember, this is our reference axis, I guess, or side. That's our reference side, so it's larger than 90, but it's less than 180. So this is 180. So if we went all the way over here, that's a total of 180. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a triangle. It's not going to be a right angle triangle this time. Not an issue. That's okay. We'll get into that in a bit. So let's try and draw this angle in. Okay, so remember, this is our starting point, and remember, we're always going counterclockwise. I'm going to go counterclockwise about 155 degrees. So let's have a think. This is 45 degrees. This is 90. This one here is going to be 135. And then this is going to be our next one, which is going to be 180. Okay, so why did I draw a line there? Okay, so let's see if we can sketch in 155. So we're going to keep going, and I guess 155 might lie about here-ish, perhaps. Let's just draw it in. So let's say that's our triangle. Whew, that's a shocking triangle. Let's just undo that. Let's pretend that never happened. Okay, so this angle here is equal to 155 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out what's kind of left over. So what basically I'm trying to ask you is, what is that angle there? Well, if we know that total, if we say this whole thing is going to be 180, so we can do 180 take away 155, and that's equal to 25 degrees. So that's telling us that this little bit here is 25 degrees. So let's say we use this side as an angle. So let's say we just go down this way and across this way. So remember, we make a right angle triangle. We can say this is our A, this is our B, correct? So instead of looking at the triangle on this kind of quadrant here, we're looking at this quadrant. Okay, I've got too many lines going on. Let's try to clean this bit up. So let's clean it up. So what we're going to do instead, is that we've got our 155 line here. So this is 155. Instead, we're going to look at this angle of 25. Yeah, and we're going to look at this length. This is our A, or is the x-axis, and then our height, which is our B. So because we're looking at sine, remember, sine theta is equal to B. So our height of our y-axis, or our triangle, sorry. So referring actually to just this part here. The way we did that is usually if we had it on this, side, I'm drawing everywhere. Usually if we had it on this side, we'd go across this way. We could do the exact same thing, can't we? So I'm going to go across to this side, and we're going to find that point. Okay, so in this case, it's probably a little bit less than my previous one, so that could be about 30. This is about 0.5. It's probably a little bit less than 0.5. I think it's probably about 0.4. So let's put that in there. So sine 155 is equal to about 0.4-ish, and if you point to your calculator, you can actually find the value of the angle, which is actually 0.4, 42261. Okay. But you might be wondering, I worked out the angle for 25. I didn't work out the angle for 155, and you might think that's kind of confusing. But I assure you, it is not. It is because of this lovely little thing where I'm going to write it down to make it official. Let's write it in red because red's official. Sine A, where A is an obtuse angle. Obtuse meaning bigger than 90. So big. So sine A is equal to sine 180 take away our A. I'm going to highlight that because that's beautiful. That's so great. So that's actually what I did. I did up here. I actually took it away and found that the angle is 25, and I actually used that angle here. And I worked it out. And if you actually type in sine 155 into your calculator, which I'm doing now, you'll actually get the exact same number as this in right here. So that's the beauty of it. If you get an angle that's bigger, just find whatever's left over. So find that 25, so take it away. And you can find the angle, the value of a sine angle, which is bigger than 90 degrees. So let's take that kind of same idea and apply it to cosine. So remember, cosine is equal to our value of A, or our x-axis. I'm going to use the same value, so let's see if we can find cosine 155. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can create that angle. I'm going to do the same thing. So this is 0. I'm going to go across. I'm going to say that's about 155. And I'm going to find whatever's missing. So we worked out that that missing bit was 25. I'm going to draw my line down. And remember, cosine is this. So our value of A. So that goes across here. And we're going to find out what that value is. Okay, so that value is basically what cosine 155 is going to be. So in this case, is actually, if we look carefully, this is positive, right? This is negative. So we have to note that it's probably going to be a negative value, and that's okay. This one here is not negative because it's still in that positive region up here. That's still a positive number. So it's possible to get negative values for cosine. That's completely normal. That's okay. So let's write this down. So we can say that it's probably about negative, maybe 0.9. I don't know, about there. It's about 0.9. Okay, ... Let's type into our calculator. I'm going to type it in on my calculator on the side here. So I'm going to do 155. It's actually negative. Sorry, I forgot to put my negative earlier. Let's do that. So actually our value is 0.906307787. So we were really close actually. That's pretty good. So that's surprising actually. So what we found, similar to the sine rule that I wrote earlier, cosine A, if A is an obtuse angle or bigger than 90, less than 180, is going to equal cosine bracket 180 take away our A. So that's exactly what I did. So that's basically, again, this 25, and that's going to be the same. So again, so if you typed in cosine 25 into your calculator, you'll actually get the same value as 155. Okay, just that instead it will probably be a positive. Oh, sorry, I forgot to note that it's actually a negative because, oops, if we do 25 over here, we've got to get a positive value. Instead, we're going to end up with a negative value. So important to note that's a negative. I forgot to mention that. But that's our second one. So all in all, let's kind of summarize what we've learnt in the past few videos. First of all, oh, whoa, where'd that line come from? First of all, that the unit circle is made up of a radius of 1, and that we can measure sine theta is equal to b, or our y-axis, or how tall our triangle is going to be. The second thing we've learned is that cosine theta is equal to a, or our distance on the x-axis. The third thing we learned is that we can actually figure out what the values of those are by making that triangle. So creating the triangle and figuring it out, and even for larger values. So for sine in particular, we found sine A, where A is a larger value, over 90 less than 180, that is equal to sine 180 take away A. And we also learned our fourth kind of thing is cosine A, where A is bigger than 90 less than 180 is equal to negative cosine 180 take away A. So look at that. We've covered a lot in the past few videos, but here we are. We're at the end now. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you found them useful. Leave a comment if you have any questions or anything like that, because I would love to hear from you. But thanks very much for listening. See ya.